What's going on, guys? Patrick here with Window Tinting Business, and welcome back to another video. So in this video, I'm going to be breaking down my process on how I built a peel board for my auto shop. I go over shopping lists, measurements, tools. I go over everything. Unfortunately, my battery died at the end, and when I switched it over, I somehow put my GoPro in picture mode, not record mode. So the only thing you don't see me do is put the wheels on the other side, and you don't see me put the glass on the glass board. It kind of just it ends abruptly. But you pretty much get all of everything. You just don't, I already put one leg on and wheels on one leg. You just don't see me do it again and then put the glass on. But I explained pretty much everything else in this video. So you should have a good idea. If you guys want to build your own peel board, then this is how I did it. If you have any comments or questions or anything like that in regards to maybe how to make it better, or what you would do, or if you do this and you like it, then let me know below. But I hope you guys enjoy the video. Thank you. All right, guys, today we're going to be building a peel board finally, after Chase being in here for a couple months just working off the tables and stuff. We have this glass board here, and I made the dimensions and everything like that for that particular glass board. So my measurements and specifications are for that particular piece of glass. You can make it for whatever you want, whether you have like a 3x6 piece of glass or whatever piece of glass you have, you can make it here. Let me roll through some of the stuff that I have here, and then we will go into building it here. So I have two boards, 6 feet by 8 inches. Those are going to be my side runners. I got two boards that are 2.5 feet. Those are going to be the base. And then I have two boards that are 57 inches each. Then that's going to be the bottom and top of the peel board itself. And I'll explain how I'm going to do all this stuff. On top of that, I got 4 heavy duty. These are 5 inches. Better safer than sorry. I don't like getting the small tiny wheels. Because if you hit like a pebble or something like that, it'll stop the wheel instantly. These bigger wheels will roll over like a pebble or a crack or something like that. Last thing you want to do is pushing this mobile peel board around. It hits a crack and then it falls over and it breaks and it's a big mess. Maybe it'll fall into a car or something like that. So avoid it. Going on into things that I have, I got a drill bit set because I needed a drill bit. I'm going to be needing to drill pilot holes for the screws that are going to hold it together so I don't crack the wood. And then I'm also going to be needing to drill a 5/16 drill hole for the casters to be able to be put on there as well. I got bolts and nuts, twice as many nuts than I do have bolts, because I'm going to use those as locking nuts so that the single bolt doesn't ever get loose. And then I'm changing it up from what I've done in the past. I'm going to be using these metal L brackets to secure the base legs to the body, and then also reinforce the corners inside so that it's strong and it's not going to fall apart on me. And then I have 2.5 inch screws. Yeah, 2.5 inch screws, because I'm going to have to go through the entirety of this 2x4, and then I want to sink in at least 1 inch into the next piece of wood, so that I'm really holding on. And then I got 1.25 inches. This is for if I'm drilling something into the body of this, but I don't want it to go through. 2x4s are really 3 inches, 1.5 inches by, I think it's 3 inches. They're not actually 2x4 inches. So this is 3.5 inches, and width is 1.5 inches. So you got to keep that in mind when you're building your plans. I have some mirror brackets, and this is what's going to hold on. The top portion of the glass is going to hold on to, this is going to hold the top portion of the glass to the peel board itself. I picked up some J channel. So J channel, I think it's called, there's an actual name. I always call it J channel, but it's not the name of it. This is J mold mirror mount. So a J mold. So essentially, you're going to strap this straight to the peel board, and then this is a J, and you put the glass here, and then you put it up, and then you hold the mirror with these brackets up here. And then, so I'm going to show you guys how to do this, where I'm going to cut this to size, and I'm actually going to bring one side or the other up by about 1/2 inch, And what that'll do is it'll create the mirror will slightly be askew, but then that's gonna create a drain so that the water doesn't just sit in this J channel, it'll actually drain itself out to the side. And then you guys can like fit a small hose that can fit into a bucket, and then that way all the water that gets accumulated from this doesn't just go everywhere, it gets collected and put together somewhere. And I had to pick up some nails to hold the J channel to the wall or to the peel board, and I think that's pretty much it. So all in all, it took me a while. It took me about an hour or more at Home Depot to make sure I get everything right and the right quantities and amounts and things like that. But with everything you guys see here, it was around $210. And then, so that's that plus the cost of the glass. I'll be very honest with you, I've never bought glass before. People have always had just like a glass piece laying around. And then I built the dimensions according to that. But $210 plus the cost of the glass, I don't know, $200-300. I have no idea how much glass costs, but you're probably in this for $400 or $500 maybe. But yeah, for those of you guys that have been in shops and have worked with peel boards, you know how much more efficient they are than just being on a table. I think Chase could attest to that as well. Oh, for those of you guys that know, that's Chase over here. He is running the Newport Richey location for our auto shop. He's been kicking ass and taking names, and I've been dragging ass trying to get this fucking peel board together, so sorry again. All right, now everything's done. Let's start fucking building this thing. Oh, plus the 210 included this drill set. So I think this drill set was about $30. So what is that? 180 minus the drill set. So if you have drills already, then save yourself. And if you don't have drills, don't be like me and buy one drill at a time and then lose them and then have to continuously buy more drills. Just buy a set and be a responsible adult. All right, I'm gonna need a 5/16. I think it's this one. That's 3/8. Is that a 5/16? Did I buy a set that doesn't even have a fucking 5/16 in it? I think I did. Oh no, there it is. Perfect. Oh, good. I think that's another reason why it took me so long at freaking Home Depot, was because I'm anal as a motherfucker, and I had to make sure everything was right, because it may take me a little longer to make sure I have all the screws and everything right, but if I don't have everything, it's gonna take me longer to stop what I'm doing, go to Home Depot, get the shit that I need, and come back. And that's a waste of fucking time. So I'm gonna make these dead nut center right there. I'm just getting pilot holes ready. I don't think I love that, because I think this hole is going to be too close to the edge and you'll crack it. So I'm going to move it in just a little bit. And if you're watching this video and you see that there's a better way to do something, go ahead and say it, because I'm just a fucking window tinner. I'm just doing everything the way I think it would be best. Now you can get your own you can get peel boards made and delivered to you, but like a full-size peel board, I think it's like $800 or $1,000. It's fucking bananas. So I'm just making my own. I ain't spending all that. That's crazy. I'm gonna bring this one in a little bit because I see there's a knot here. So you're gonna need a power drill as well. I don't have like a table saw. I just had Home Depot cut these to the lengths that I wanted. So make sure you get your plans down solid before you walk into Home Depot and tell them to make you something, because you're gonna mess it up. Don't mess it up. So we're gonna dry fit it, but that's pretty much what it's gonna look like. And then we'll put the glass on one side and the legs down here. And I did it so we can put the glass on this side, but then later on, if we decided to, you can add another J channel and another piece of glass onto the other side. And then now you can have 2 installers working 2 different bays and using the same peel board, like just have one in between them. So this is the glass we're gonna use. It should be 48 wide. Yep. And 60 tall. Yes. All right, so the idea is that these are 37 inches, but then these are 1.5 inches each, which gives us 3 inches. So when you add them both together, 60 inches exactly. So that's what you gotta keep in mind too, the thickness of the wood and everything else like that. The only thing that I can't separate these exactly 48 inches because I need to have room to put the mirror brackets here and then also put the J channel here. So this will probably be a little bit wider than 48, and I don't know that until I start pulling it together, and I can mark it at that point. All right, and use the 2.5 inch screws. Where'd this knife come from? Where'd this green knife come from? Is that your house? Okay, do you know what that blade is? Yeah. What is it? It's not a stainless steel, it's a carbon blade. Okay, carbon blades are incredibly sharp. You will score every piece of glass. So all right, that's good. Just don't cut any glass with this, all right? Before we start cutting things. I just want to make sure you knew that. If you don't know that, now you know. All right, let's see how thick these are. So I don't want to drill a pilot hole too big because then the teeth won't have anything to hold. So I want to go just smaller than the body, not the teeth, but the body of the nail, or the screw, excuse me. I think I want to go right there. That way it's just a little bit smaller than the body, so it's tight in there. Pilot holes are important, because if you don't have pilot holes, you'll just split the wood. I hate that this floor isn't like, there's like a bump in it. So that looks square, but we're gonna check real quickly. Get a measurement from the corner to the corner, that's 78. And then do the same side. If they're the same length, then you're square. So when I'm gonna move over this just a little bit. Bring this in a little bit. Oh, of course. All right. Wow. Were you using this bench? Ooh, you almost fell, my friend. Make sure you lock those legs down. That thing almost came apart. And these are just deck screws. Perfect. All right. Now, we gotta do some math because our window, our mirror is only 48 inches wide. So I can't just split this 48 inches because I need to have the brackets that are gonna hold it. So these are the mirror brackets. I got 1/4 inch thick because the glass is a 1/4 inch thick. So you're gonna need to know how thick the glass is also. I think 3 of them should be fine. So you wanna put them so that there's enough bite that the glass is gonna be backed by the wood, but then you have enough height here that nothing's overhanging. So I'd say just right there. So let's mark this. I don't want to use a Sharpie, I want to use something a little more fine. I'm going to line this bracket to the very top, which means that my mirror is going to start there. So I got 48 inches from here that I need to measure so I can put this second piece of wood in the proper position. I keep putting things down I don't need to. Never buy measuring tape. This is supposed to stay locked, and then you're supposed to squeeze it to reel it back in, but it doesn't stay. So don't ever buy this. Buy one of these so you can lock it. There's that. I'm going to mark 48. It's going to be right there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to bring these to the top, which means the top of my glass is going to be right there. And 48. Boom. All right, so we're gonna dry fit this real quick. So this is the J channel. It's what's gonna go on the bottom, and it's where we're gonna put the glass here, and then those mounting brackets are gonna hold the top, and it's gonna hold the glass. And then that way, if we need to, 3 screws and this glass comes out and we can replace it just like that. I've seen peel boards like this where like, it's a pain in the dick to get to the glass and it takes forever. You gotta like rebuild it. I'm not trying to rebuild shit. I just wanna build it once, build it good, and then never again. So, this J channel is gonna go right here. Probably smack it right in the center here. And then that means I gotta put the wood right there. Line it up. So what I'm doing is I'm putting the J channel in the middle of the 2x4 and then lining up the bottom of the J channel to my mark. And then that way I'll know where to put my 2x4. Right there. That's not helping because this floor is not level. Where'd my goddamn pen go? So there's where my 2x4 is, and now I know where to drill 2 more holes and screw it in here. Boom. Okay, so there's three lines. This line is going to indicate the 48, the end of the glass, and this is where we're going to drill. These between the 2 outside lines is where we're going to drill to line up the 2x4. So this math I can't really do in my head as I'm like planning it out. Like this is like something I have to do like at the time of me building this damn thing. So if you can figure out a way to do it, awesome. Let me know. Right there. Also, one thing too, when you guys are buying the wood, don't just get any 2x4. I got 8-foot pieces of wood. There's like 8 inches, 8 feet 9 inches, and then there was one that was less than 8 feet. I don't know. But when you're doing it, get the wood and look down the side just like this, and you'll see if the wood is warped in any which way, then put that piece away and go grab a different piece of wood. So I looked down the line of every single piece of this wood to ensure that it was in fact straight, because it's hard to build something square with warped pieces of wood. Almost done. And then now I can twist this and make it square right there. I don't think it's square because the ground isn't flush. We're still recording, right? Yeah, we are. Okay. So the basic frame is going to be here. I am putting L brackets on the inside of the entire base, and then 2 on the bottom. I should have put 1 here, but I think putting L brackets in 4 corners on the inside should be enough to give it structural integrity. So now we got to put these bad boys on. So physics, how big should the base be in relation to the height of this to give it structural stability? And I didn't know this, I had to look it up because I'm just a window tinner, that it's a 1/4 ratio. So for every 4 feet you have, it has to be at least 1 foot wide. So this is 6'8", and it required something like 2 feet or something like that. I just made it 2.5 just to give it a little bit more stability. But just be careful, you don't want to get these too big and then they end up coming in the way. So you want at least whatever the height of the entire thing is, you want to make the base at least 25% of that to make it structurally sound. Because if it's smaller than that, then because it's top heavy, it has the ability to fall over, and we don't want that. You need this anymore or no? This bench? Okay. Make sure you lock both next time, yeah? This leg was bent in this way, which means it wasn't locked. Huh? Right, but then that means it wasn't locked when you were on it. And then therefore, if you like shift your weight, you're going flying. Just for your safety, Chase. How the hell do I do this? Eyeball it. Looks good to me. So I know that this is the dead nut center of this. So I'm just putting these two lines into center here, eyeballing it. And then I'm coming over here and just making sure it's center. Doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, mine will because I'm a perfectionist. And now let's see if I can drill into this motherfucker. Ooh, that was perfect. I thought I almost got my finger there. I think so. Shift it on me. Pretty good. Am I in your way? Am I in your way? Okay. Obviously this is easier if you have a second pair of hands, but doing this solo mio. All right. So since I lined this up, I know it's in the middle, so I don't have a, unless I go off this way, I'm not going to drill into my hand. Let's just make sure it's square. Looks like it's square. All right, so with these, the only thing I don't like about this design is that I have to put the bolts at the bottom here so that the casters have room to clear. If I put it from the top, it looks better, looks wise, but then the wheels won't rotate correctly. So, I put that in there. This is why we drill pilot holes. This looks like one of my pilot holes is not lined up right. Must have moved or something. All right, looks like I didn't line these up correctly, so let's make that hole bigger. There we go. And this one definitely needs to be drilled out. And make sure that these bolts are seated in so they're nice and flat. There's a square and it'll fit into the square. I probably could have gotten locking washers and that probably would have been better. I ended up getting double nuts and just using the second one as a locking nut. But yeah, so these screws will protrude at the top of the peel board, but that it is what it is. It'll be fine. You can use it as grip. Put your foot on top of it and move it. Ow, motherfucker. See what I'm talking about right here? So since it's square, if it's not square, it won't seat in. But if it rotates, it'll seat in. So make sure you're seating it in.